Hello, in today's experiment, we are going to be making a pasta rocket. So the first thing I have here is a glass mason jar. And I took off the actual lid so that we don't trap too much of the reaction and cause an explosion. And I have just the top lid here. So it just kind of sits on top of the mason jar. And I've made a hole in the center of this lid and hole big enough to fit my actual piece of penne pasta. So it's just going to sit like this, kind of like a candle. And the other things that you need are active yeast that I have here, 3% hydrogen peroxide, and a lighter. So I'm a little bit nervous, but I hope the fire isn't too big. Okay, sorry. So I'm going to take the hydrogen peroxide first, and I'm going to fill it up about halfway. Okay, so that has the hydrogen peroxide in it. And now I'm going to take about a teaspoon, 5 cc's of yeast, and I am going to add it to the hydrogen peroxide. I'm going to add that, and immediately you'll start to see the bubbles forming. And I'm going to give it a slight shake to actually activate the reaction. I'm going to light this on fire. So we see that the top of it has actually lighted now. And you can start to see that the flame is getting bigger. So, oh, and you'll start to see it go. Okay, I think the reaction is coming to an end. I think the yeast is almost done. Okay, I'm just going to blow it out. Okay, because I just didn't want it to get too big. So, oh, is this too hot? No, I'm just gonna transfer this to the sink while I explain. So basically the pasta rocket engine that we built, the first part is that the fuel from this experiment is the actual pasta. So this complex carbohydrate is what is being used. I'm just gonna put some water on it to stop the reaction. Okay. Sorry, I'm starting to smoke a little bit in my apartment. So that's what's being used. So what's going on actually inside of the mason jar is that the hydrogen peroxide contains the actual, what happens is that the yeast catalyzes the oxygen and causes that oxygen to come off of the hydrogen peroxide. So what happens is that there's an oxygen molecule for every 2 water now that's going on inside of that reaction. So the reaction is happening inside of this mason jar, and with a fire on the actual pasta, the O2 in the jar is coming up and actually fueling the fire while the pasta is being burned, and you'll see the flame get bigger and bigger and kind of act as an actual rocket. So that is today's experiment. It was actually very cool and a little bit scary, but yeah, thank you.